Back in here on GCR, and coming up on Sunday, just outside New York, the World Cup final. Argentina looking to make it back-to-back titles as they take on Spain. Joining us now to talk a little bit more about that. We weren't able to catch up with him after the U.S. got eliminated because I was away, so we're going to have to talk about some of the fallout from that. He is the legend, the Hall of Famer, and Montgomery County's own. He's the great Bruce Murray, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Bruce, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you again, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us. Oh, Bruce, we got to get you to unmute. I apologize. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Especially the ones that don't know anything about technology like me. But anyway,
Bruce, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. I asked this question. How do you put into words what Leo Messi is doing at this age and this deep into the tournament and this deep into matches at the tournament? It is like, I know we all get caught up in the GOAT conversation. I hate that. Who knows, but my God, how do we describe what we're seeing?
it's I mean, pick something. It's like he's out of some kind of superhero movie. He's just one of these people. Um, what's the movie? What's the movie like Rain Man or something? Or like counting cards, and he's so far ahead of all of us in our thinking. In other words, if he sees something that's going to have four possibilities, and you are going to do something that might be part of one of those possibilities, but anyway, the ball goes a different way. He's already got eight more in his brain. You know what I'm saying? He's one of these guys that I mean, nobody's ever seen anybody who has a the aptitude, the mental aptitude of the game that he has, not the physical side of it,
Mm-hmm.
but mentally. There's nobody we have ever seen better than Lionel Messi.
That's really well said, Bruce. Like, just thinking two steps ahead, just very aware of what's coming. I mean, it's unbelievable. This matchup on Sunday, we knew I think we knew what kind of matchups we were getting in the semifinals, right? Like, we knew that England was going to try to be physical. We knew I think we had expectations. What is your expectation now for this matchup between these two teams on Sunday? And is it a story of both teams trying to get the other one to play to their style?
Well, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. But I can tell you right now that Spain, as good as Spain is, I mean, they're the best team. You saw what happened against France.
Mm-hmm.
They are terrified right now because they see it doesn't matter what what you put on the board or what the coach says at this point. They're looking and saying, Cape Verde, they came back. Boom, came back. Last game, came back. I mean, it's almost like when you're playing a team like a team of destiny. The psychology gets into players' heads. It really does.
Does it work the same way? Do you feel like the conversation on the Argentine side is like, yeah, we're good. We fall behind. It doesn't matter. A lot of people have brought up like how much of an advantage it is that they don't ask as much of Messi defensively, and how that kind of maybe keeps him fresher for the ends of matches. Like, is there anything that you can do to try to change that, to try to force him to have to be more involved so he doesn't seem as fresh in the 90th minute?
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do because Messi is a man that just wanders around the pitch. He plays off of people's shoulders. He decides when he wants to do something, but everybody else on that team understands that everything rotates around number 10. So, Messi can't do this without all the buy-in from the other players. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of superstars in Argentina that play the game, and the game is whatever Messi is drawing up. They believe in Messi. Messi is the messiah to all the players, not just the fans and the people all over the world. The players that are playing with him look at him in a godlike way.
It's so funny you say that. Bruce Murray is with us here on GCR. I noticed this the other day. And look, the second goal he created, obviously, that was all him, that second goal. The first one, a little bit less so. But when they score, everyone goes to him. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. when they score, no matter what, they're all going towards him.
Yeah, well, I mean, in life, right? We're all the same way. You have a boss, and you want to do things right, and then you want to go and make sure the boss signs off on it, and that's you know, um, Griffin, you could probably talk to that. But
I
the
would.
but the point is, they want to be, it's like your dog comes up to you and it licks your face because you did something good, and he's the guy, and that's where you want to go. And we've just never seen anything like this ever.
The I feel like the one storyline that maybe is significant for Spain, and I know that everybody's talking about the picture of him as a baby and Messi holding him, but for everything that Spain has done, it really hasn't been about Lamine Yamal throughout the course of this tournament. Is there maybe still a world where like the storyline for Sunday is this is his moment? We know how class he
Well,
is, and it could still be there.
we've seen him. It's like the water in your kettle, right? It's starting to boil, and
Mm.
we've seen him on the boil here the last couple of games, and he's getting, he's getting more confident. He's speaking to the media. Everything is coming out in that way. So yeah, Yamal will play a role, but also don't ever think that Spain isn't fine with him being a decoy
Mm.
because that's how good Spain.
Yeah, they're good.
You
Yeah.
know, it, it's a you know it's a strategy where, okay, and if Argentina thinks that much of Yamal, they'll send two players out. That is going to that's going to kill Argentina inside because we can outpass them. And there's no team in the world, Glenn, that can pass better than Spain, and that includes Argentina. Spain's a little bit of, or excuse me, Argentina's a little bit of a wild card team. They just make it up as they go. Spain has it's called triangulation. It's a pattern of play. It's all you can go back 50 moves in a game, and they've kind of they get the center back gets it. He knows what to do. The right back gets it. Then the inside right gets it. Then it goes to the left. And it's all part of this thing called triangulation. What they have done, though, as the tournament went on, they got faster and faster in how they played triangulation. And that really makes it difficult once that ball starts zipping around. And when the French started chasing the ball, game over because you're never going to get the ball off the Spanish.
Obviously they had the benefit of that early goal that was half of a gift, right? Like, not, it was a good call, obviously that was definitely a penalty, there's no debate about it, it just wasn't necessary. I obviously for Argentina, I don't think it matters, right? Like, I don't think they would, if Spain scored 13 seconds into the match, I don't think Argentina would care just because they've been in this position so much. Is it imperative for Spain that they get in front the way that they were able to against France?
I think so. That's a great point you're making. Yeah, they need to get the first goal.
Yeah.
If not, it's gonna be very difficult because especially playing against Argentina is playing with house money. They're literally just playing off the cuff. They play off of Messi. They don't have anything drawn up, designed, any of that stuff. You know, I've never seen anything like this. But yeah, in terms of getting the first goal, Spain would be great getting the first goal because then Argentina would have to come out and again, when you chase the ball, you can't catch the ball in soccer. You know that.
Yep.
There's the ball's the fastest man on the field. You hear that since you're 8-year-old youth player, and Spain does it better than anybody.
Well, and presumably you're not going to have a situation if Spain were to go in front where they would just sit back and defend the way that England did
Oh,
down the stretch the other day,
you
which
want to
was
talk about that?
no, it was nuts. By the way, for anyone that hasn't seen, there are so many videos of like sports talk show hosts in England reacting to it, and the content is gold. It's gold.
Yeah, it really is.
And I understand, and I'm telling you, I had fun. Griffin, when we were watching the other day, he said to me, he's like, There's no way they can hang on. There's no way they can hang on playing like this." And boy, was he right about that. Bruce, I mentioned we haven't chatted, obviously, since unfortunately what happened with the U.S. last week. We heard that Polk's going to make a decision next week about his future. I'm in a weird place where I'm not really that. I'm very disappointed by how they played. They got their asses kicked. I mean, it was a drubbing against Belgium. That said, on the whole, I don't think Polk got less than what I thought he could have gotten. I thought he got about as much as he could get from this group, and I would be inclined to like to see him go through a cycle, go through qualifying, even if it's, qualifying is maybe not as difficult as it used to be. I'm encouraged, I guess, by what I saw from him. What do you make of that? Do you feel like he should be back for another cycle?
I'm on the opposite side of the card. And the only
Okay.
reason there's a couple of reasons. Belgium took away our wing play from the first minute of the game, and that means that everything would have to go through the middle. If we're going to penetrate, we got to have the box to box guys in the middle, and we didn't do that. McKennie, as great as he had a really good World Cup. And Adams those aren't the two players that you want in there to push the ball through the middle. Because if you can go, when the ball comes into the middle, like you would see Tim Ream play it, and then they would play it back to Tim Ream, and then straight out to the right, and then there was nothing on the wings. But if we found put the right combination of players in there, then if we went down the middle, then obviously they collapse in, and then we can get the ball out wide. We can get our wing play going. But he didn't do that, and I know the players have responsibility on the field to occasionally. There are times when you're a professional player where you forget what the coach says and you do what you have to do. And I just thought that, there's a lack of leadership there. There's a lot of feel good with Pochettino, but at the end of the day, to me, it was glaring. And the other side of it is, during this tournament, in the middle of the tournament, we get leaked information that, he's negotiating with AC Milan.
Yeah.
To myself, I know somebody leaked that, probably his agent, but stop this, right? That's not the kind of coach I want. I don't want that kind of circus traveling.
That's interesting. I know.
Again, I'm not in the locker room. I can't, but I'm just saying that's not the way I would play it. And I think we should probably start looking at other people because he's going to make the decision. It's up. U.S. Soccer has already said we want you, so it's up to him to make the decision. But if he makes that decision, and he's going to end up at AC Milan, you guys will give me a call because we'll have we know we're.
Who's the answer if he does? Do you have somebody? Do you have someone in mind, Bruce?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have anybody in mind. And possibly Southgate, the former England.
Yep.
He was a great manager, and they went to Tuchel, but Southgate had a lot of good games for England, and I think he knows the culture. That's a possibility.
Bruce Murray, you gonna be working Fox 5 on Sunday?
Yeah, I got. I guess obviously working tomorrow and then Sunday. Yeah. Let me ask you guys a quick question.
Yeah.
And this is one that I don't really remember. Just from participation in the World Cup, I think we were on a plane on the way over because we didn't make it to the next round. But the third place game.
Yeah, when
most of the time, isn't it a bench dump where everyone gets a game?
Yeah, go in there, get a chance to play. I feel like I remember hearing at some point they tried to up the cash considerations a little bit to try to make it more of a competitive match.
The goals still count towards golden boot.
Right? So
yeah,
that is relevant, obviously a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Bruce, you got to tell me. Like, there's no way that you got to be excited and fired up about going out there tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, those, but I'm thinking like, some of the bench guys, and you got to reward those guys. And like you said, I guess that's a great answer from both of you guys. Like, there might be a golden boot situation.
Yeah.
Do you play Mbappe, right, or do you bring in the other guy? I mean, that's a tough question. In the money issue, it would be great, maybe if I don't know, like Czechoslovakia made the final or something, money might be a little bit different.
That's a good point, right? Like these guys.
The guys that are playing, I was going to say the guys that are playing in this game, money doesn't really.
They're good.
When I saw the answer, when I saw Martinez for Argentina talk about like no disrespect to England, I have an English maid and an English nanny, and I'm thinking to myself, money doesn't mean a lot to these guys.
Yeah, he's all right. He's doing all right. He's got nothing to worry about, no doubt.
Real quick, Bruce, just what do you think of the future, the international future for Christian Pulisic looks like with the national team?
I don't think, with his, I guess where he's at in terms of age, he's going to take care of himself. But I think for Christian, he's there's no way around it. I mean, he's a fragile player. He's injured quite a bit. Hopefully, he can get over the injuries. He's a very effective player, but he's also, he needs to grow a little bit too in terms of media involvement and making himself more available. I'm sure you guys have heard the stories. I mean, it's hard, like when you're around Christian Pulisic, and I've been in that situation, and he's not really happy with wanting to be social, and so I think that's something he needs to work on off the field. It's going to make him a better player on the field.
It's crazy because I don't remember who we were talking about it. They said, look, not trying to describe them as a similar type of player. No one thinks that Pulisic is Messi, but that there was a little bit of that with Messi when he was a younger man, like that he wasn't quite as outgoing, and maybe that still could come for Pulisic at some point, but it's got to come now. To your point,
it could. Yeah, it could. You can teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, if you looked at Cristiano Ronaldo, he started the World Cup with the me stuff, and then at the end of the World Cup, he talked about we and us, and we and us is what you heard him saying. And I don't know if publicists were talking about that, but to me, that shows some maturity. At 41 years old, he can kind of switch into another gear. I like that.
Bruce Murray, this weekend, and then right back at it with United next week, obviously, as MLS will get back into the swing of things. Appreciate you, sir.
Sure.
Thanks for doing this with us. We'll be in touch. Really have enjoyed our conversations during the Cup.
Always, guys. All right, Glenn. All right, Griffin. Take care, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Bruce Murray, Hall of Famer, U.S. soccer legend. Appreciate him spending time with us during